Beautiful day. It is March 13th, 2022. It is currently a beautiful Sunday evening, 6:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am in the South in the United States, and the weather is, beautiful day. I just celebrated a 35th birthday solar return here on March 11th, 2022, 2 days ago. And I am grateful, excited, optimistic, prepared, organized, and, just ready to walk in my purpose, serve my mission, and, and continue my personal growth and development throughout the process and staying grounded, focused, all those beautiful things. So, I am listening to a beautiful meditation here from our Soul Tribe Awakening channel on YouTube. I feel like it's drowning me out a little bit. So, it is soothing meditation music for positive energy. I just did a little energy clearing and prayer before we got started here. So we're going to go ahead and start with updates. All right, so I've been pretty busy, but not so busy, but busy. I've been working at the barbershop in Columbia, South Carolina, at Top Notch. And, it's been very interesting, fun, and just so much opportunity that I see, and I'm excited about that. So, I'm trying to figure out how to manage this part of my work because I didn't build the OG Academy that is now known as OGs United at marissablack.com. The platform has evolved. So with that, OGs United, I've put a lot of hard work and dedication into this project, into this platform. And although I've had a tremendous amount of challenges and obstacles along the way, many reasons to quit and, just say, F it, fuck it, forget it. I'm done so many times. And I've said it quite a few times. But, here we go. I'm excited. I have a greater awareness and understanding of this beautiful thing we call divine timing and, God's will and, just purpose. I have a most definite expanded awareness and appreciation for those things I just listed. And with that, I'm here to do my part and take the resources that I have invested in and sharing what has been working for me. And while sharing what has been working for me, share also transparently what has not worked in the form of stories when, the opportunity presents itself for me to share to assist another in their personal development and growth. That is what this is all for. And these are just tools that, the Most High God, the divine, the source, the creator, the Alpha and the Omega, that which is of love and light, of higher knowing, of greater feeling of good, high vibration, angelic, whole, the all knowing, all seeing, that source energy that I'm grateful to have the trust and the belief and the alignment and with that. So through that, I've been able to seek guidance and wisdom to provide me with the tools that are going to help me to best continue on my journey of growing and learning and assisting those who are attracted to what it is that I'm here to offer. So with that being said, there's nothing spooky about the crystals. There's nothing spooky or devilish about the symbology, the art here. It's history. And when you know better, for learning better, you're able to do better and be better. As an individual person, an individual human being, a man, woman, or child, and a child that will prayerfully grow to one day be an adult man or woman, a grown-up. So with that, these tools here are for whoever they resonate with, because I've found that the children of today have a great deal of maturity at a young age. You know, they're very insightful and, you know, opinionated, and, you know, they understand, they see, and we definitely need new systems and new tools in place to help them have healthy foundations in their mind and in their hearts, you know. Yeah, so that's what we're doing here. I decided that the OG's United Energy Forecast moving forward will be in alignment with the new moon and full moon cycles. So we know we have a new moon and full moon each month, and approximately 2 weeks apart. So within that, we'll be having a focus, a task, a subject to study, look into, to, you know, look for experiences in our everyday lives that support these learning lessons that we're going to come across. I most definitely recommend journaling, either a guided journal or a blank journal where you write whatever you're inspired to write, draw whatever you're inspired to draw, sketch whatever it is that you do, however you best express yourself. I encourage that at this time, because that is what will be triggered, that is what will be inspired from what it is that we're going to be doing here. And like I said, the different moon cycles each have an energy associated with them. So for instance, briefly, I'll go into it a little bit more detail in a minute, but we have a full moon approaching here this upcoming Friday. And with the full moons, it's usually a time for us to release, to shed, to transform, and to make sure that we are letting go of things that are weighing us down, that are holding us back, that are keeping us uninspired, keeping us unhealthy, keeping us disconnected. You know, any of these things need to be shed. Needs, like, you know, how certain animals, you'll see from season to season, they'll change in some way. When I think of shedding, we think of a snake. They shed their skin. When you look at bears and certain animals like that, where they hibernate in the cold winter and come back out in the spring. So we have butterflies that start out as caterpillars and they stay in a cocoon for a certain period of time, and then they evolve and come out as a butterfly. So transformation, shedding, evolving, letting go of something is shown in nature in many different ways. And the more that we sit or take time to reconnect with nature, we'll see that. And with that being said, let's go ahead and start with our chakra reading cards. This is Ancient Wisdom to Balance and Heal. This deck is from Rochelle Charman. I trust, hope, and pray that wherever you are in the world, whatever it is that you have going on at this time, that you are managing it to the best of your ability, that you are being respectful to yourself, to those that you communicate with, those that you have to interact and engage with in whatever manner that is, whether you're in school, in the workplace, and spiritual communities, or sports, whatever it is that you're doing, that we're making sure that we're being mindful to respect one another, because we have no idea what people are going through, dealing with, and we don't want to be responsible for any unnecessary chaos. All right. All right, so we have here number 27, psychic development. And this is like an indigo color. Now we see on the bottom of the deck, we have spiritual awakening, number 29. So this sums up to number 11. And this sums up to number 9. So psychic development and spiritual awakening. I see 9/11 here. 27 equals 9. 29 equals 11. That's 911. This is an emergency situation. Yeah, divine timing, like I said earlier. Let's read from the book on psychic development. This is the third eye chakra. You have called upon this card today, as it is a powerful time to develop your psychic abilities. Connecting to our psychic awareness is like having an extra sense. People often refer to it as the sixth sense. Everyone is psychic, including you, and now it is time for you to deepen your psychic abilities. You could possibly have a lineage of psychic ancestors, as this gift can be handed down through your bloodline. There are 4 main ways we can connect to our psychic abilities: through vision, hearing, knowing, and feeling. These senses are like muscles. The more you work with them, the stronger they become. There is usually one sense that comes more naturally to you than the others, and you are encouraged to focus on it. This card is a reflection that it is time to start flexing your psychic muscle to discover new wisdom for yourself and others. It would be a great time to attend a workshop to assist you, to read some books, listen to some podcasts, whatever medium suits. It is time to dive in. As you grow in your abilities, you will receive an abundance of wisdom, love, and guidance to enjoy and share with others. Pulling this card could also mean that you have been working on your psychic abilities and you are encouraged to keep going, as the answers for you at this time will come through your connection to your higher self. This is such a powerful time of development and learning. Make sure you take the time to honor and nurture your gifts and this process. The affirmation: I am deeply connected to my intuition and I reclaim my psychic gifts now. I'm going to repeat that. I am deeply connected to my intuition and reclaim my psychic gifts now. All right. All right. So, the emergency here, the 911, the SOSO, the smoke clouds, the ring the alarm. If you are a spiritual teacher, a spiritual leader, an influencer, someone of great wisdom, a sage, an elder, someone who gets and receives direct messages from source, from the Most High God. And you have been feeling like you've been being suppressed and blocked and restrained, like, restricted, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically or financially imprisoned. If you have been experiencing any of these things, this is a time for you to connect. But before you can connect, you have to be still. Go within. Meditate. Meditate doesn't always look like sitting in an Indian style under a tree. You can sit in the Indian style or lay down or, lay on your face if you want to on your bed, but if you're being still, being present, breathing, deep breathing, that is meditating, that is connecting with source, the all knowing, the all seeing, that we know is God. By connecting with that, you get more in alignment and in tune with your body and the messages that your body provides you to help you navigate through life. That is intuition. For some people, you may feel butterflies in your stomach when, something significant is about to happen, whether it be good or bad. You could be someone who gets sweaty palms, or your eye twitches, or you may have a nerve jump in a certain part of your body whenever something is taking place. Our body gives us nudges when there's something that we need to pay attention to, whether that be within us or outside of us. Like a headache could be telling you need some rest, you need some water, simple things like that. You need to use the bathroom, it could be a number of things. So with this psychic development and spiritual awakening, it is most definitely serving a purpose of helping us to remember who we are and remember our true power, and to stop giving it away. Allowing our energy to be harvested for negativity, for toxicity, for unfruitful activities within the world, whether we know about it or not. So I'm not here to produce fear of any sort. I actually am here to encourage the opposite, from fear is, love. So, loving yourself better so that you can love everything and everyone else around you better. All right, so that was our chakra alignment message. Now we're gonna I'm moved to pick up our dear Isis Oracle. It's been a long time. It feels like, at least it's been a long time since I've really picked up this deck, because the messages that come through from our Isis Oracle be so on point, but not just on point. They be like, holy shoot. Did this really just show up in my space, and play out exactly how this card said that it was, simultaneously? Yeah, it's been real, especially involving the elements. So, this one I have to have the energy to support the messages that come through, Talking about power. and being prepared, to do the work associated with it. All right, we have the Lunar Queen, she of the celestial crescent. Look at that. She of the celestial crescent. You know what I'm trying to say. All right. So the messages in this one is usually pretty long. But we're going to see if I'm going to read the whole thing or not. We about to see. Like I said in the beginning, this is to prepare us for the upcoming full moon. And before I do this, matter of fact, I'm going to give a little bit of insight on the moon that's coming up. Okay. All right, the Lunar Queen. We're going to get to that. All right, where were we? All right, so I took some notes. This is the spiritual meaning of March's full worm moon. Worm, like the little worms in the ground, in Virgo. So the worm moon, and this is a Virgo full moon. This was written by Brittany Beringer, and the website that I got it from was bustle.com. So I'm going to leave the links and the information in Patreon. For those of you who are Black Card members, you'll have access to that. All right, so Don't Be Afraid to Dig a Little Dirt by Brittany Beringer, and this was written on March 11th, 2022, which was my birthday. Longer days, warmer nights, and marathoning Longer days, warmer nights, and marathoning springtime shows on Netflix. Bridgerton, anyone? May be the first signs of the new moon season. But the March 2022 full moon will rev up all spring vibes leading up to the vernal equinox, arriving on March 18th at 3:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In detail-oriented Virgo, the March full moon offers the collective and analytical approach to meeting goals and reflecting on their deep feelings. Think of this lunation as a break from the dramatic emotions escorted by the watery energy of Pisces season. It's a chance to set your plans into motion and reap the benefits of all the shadow work you've been doing lately. So knowing the spiritual meaning behind the March 2022 full worm moon is a must. All right, so I'm going to just read a little bit of the details real quick. Full moons finalize the end of the lunar cycle. When La Luna is at its brightest and most visible in astrology, the energy of the full moon represents completion, action, and emotional release, raising tensions and intensifying emotions. While dramatic, this lunation can also be a cathartic time as you face your emotions and let go of that which no longer serves you. Although reinvention is typically a new moon vibe, March's full moon is the last one before it's officially spring, meaning it's important to get in sync with your intentions and plans for the future. What's the spiritual meaning of the worm moon? As the Farmer's Almanac notes, the March 2022 full worm moon takes its name from the earthworms that come out of the ground at the first signs of spring. Other names for the March full moon include the sugar moon, referring to when sugar maple sap flows, and the Lenten moon, which happens when this March lunation falls before the spring equinox. While the nicknames for the March full moon refer to the coming of spring, its spiritual meaning signals fresh starts and shedding old habits in the hopes of a better and wiser version of ourselves. The spiritual meaning behind the full worm moon is a signifier for life as the earth thaws, softens, and life emerges in the northern hemisphere, says Theodora. The bustling energy of newness that nature promises as it anticipates. Spring is also confirmation our lives will begin to warm up with more liveliness, hope, and direction. So I have most definitely been paying attention and seeing that play out in real life. People are, feeling like, okay, it's springtime. I want to become more, conscious because I didn't do that in the new year, sticking to my new year resolutions of, going to the gym, drinking more water, detoxing, fasting, all that stuff. So here we have, those who are of, I guess, more of the Christianity faith that, do Lenten and the 40 days of fasting for that. I've done that in the past, a couple years. I've tried it, and it, was most definitely a rewarding experience for me spiritually, mentally, and physically. So I also have done that with Ramadan. One year I actually did them both together, like back to back. So, yeah, gets interesting the insight and, you know, like I said, the benefits that come from, doing these fasts and so forth and aligning it with the moon cycles. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the Lunar Queen. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Isis, as Lunar Queen, understands the cycles of creative power and flow. Sometimes it can be hard to let go of a desire to force, control, and make things happen, to exert might and will to bring what you wish for into being by sheer determination, exertion, and force. Yet the vast creative power of the feminine principle is in honoring and flowing with cycles of activity and rest, of releasing force and surrendering into the perfection of what is happening right now. Realizing that this actually brings us divine manifestation and creation more effortlessly and gracefully and to greater effect. The celestial crescent is the moon in her changing form. This oracle comes to you at a time when you are shifting from one phase in your spiritual and creative journey into a new phase. This is a time to pay deep attention to the messages of your body and allow them to guide you. Do you need to balance your activity with more rest? Do you need to be actively creating, but from a more relaxed and allowing rather than demanding or forceful mental state? Or is it time for you to spring into action once more? Has the time come to take a step forward? Pay attention to any other card that you draw with Lunar Queen to more fully understand which phase is appropriate for you now. All right, so I didn't do any other cards. Let's skip that. Remember, sometimes more time in the oven prevents an overcooked meal. Sometimes we just need to wait a little longer. The quiet times are dark moon energies, the times when you will sense from your inner wisdom, your body wisdom, that you are in need of replenishing and percolation. The other times when you feel the inner oven timer has rung and it is time to get that delicious meal on the table, your body will urge you to dance, to act, to communicate, to be bold, and take steps. These are full moon energies, which is what we're going into, the Libra full moon, depending on when you watch this. Your body will help you know where you are at and what you need. The flow between the dark moon and full moon and all phases is in between is constant, and allowing that flow, even several times in a day or an hour, you will maximize your creativity and allow your life to manifest creative project after creative project. Should you so choose, you will feel great inner harmony, wellness, and connection. This oracle is also a reminder that this feminine wisdom is not widely accepted in Western culture as yet, with its distorted view of what constitutes productive behavior. The Lunar Queen is quite a radical. You will need to really believe in your own wisdoms and give yourself great support and trust your own body wisdom in as you learn to operate in this more intuitive, flexible, responsive, feminine way. The oracle tells you that Lady Isis and the spiritual guidance that cares for you completely encourages and supports you in being strong and giving yourself absolute permission to rest when needed. To honor your creative cycles for greatest productivity and quality. If you have been wanting to create something or feel frustrated in your creative enterprises, the Lunar Queen Oracle also contains the message for you that something creative is within you and wanting to emerge. It is stirring in your it is stirring in your unconscious, and soon it will be reflected more clearly back to you, and you shall be able to act. But for now, have patience. Y'all know that favorite virtue of ours. There could be much inner work required before the relatively swift outer work of bringing the creative impulse into form even begins. Such is the natural creative flow at times. If you are already in the flow and want to know if this is the time to really let go and shine like the gorgeous full moon, the answer is yes. Trust and know that you are being guided by your own inner wisdoms and supported by she of the celestial crescent, the Lunar Queen, Lady Isis. All right. Healing with she of the celestial crescent. All right, that's the meditation that goes with it. We're not going to get into that right now. But if I have someone that would be interested in me doing maybe a 15-minute Reiki session, including this meditation for you, just send me a message via the Black Book on my Linktree // experience black. That can also be found at marissablack.com if you click on the remote. The remote is pretty much a remote to help you get to whatever it is that you need to access within our system, within our platform. It's well organized where you're able to do that with the remote. So check it out. But the Black Book is where you can submit your request. There's a donation link underneath the Black Book. That is the best one to use if you're looking for anything concerning this work. All right. Now, the incantation of the Lunar Queen, I'm going to share that part. The Lunar Queen, Lady Isis, goddess of night, help me now to follow the neutral light of the shining moon in all her flow. I release force and fear, help me let go. Guided by the crescent moon, now I am open to receive great boon.